If you've ever had someone imply or outright say that your kid's ADHD isn't a big deal, that they just need more structure, more discipline, or less screen time, and you've walked away feeling like you're failing at this whole parenting thing, this book is for you. I'm Mary Ellen. I review books for parents raising neurodivergent kids. Today's book is Taking Charge of ADHD by Russell Barkley PhD, 3rd edition. And this is a book that I wish I had read earlier. So who is this book for? This book is for both new and veteran parents of ADHDers or who are ADHD themselves. This gives you a foundation, what ADHD actually is neurologically, what it isn't, what actually works. But then if you've been in it for a while and still feel like you're doing everything wrong, the first part of the book in particular makes you at least feel seen. Barkley shares statistics that proves that parenting ADHDers is genuinely difficult. Not because you're doing it wrong, but he does give you valuable advice. But because ADHD is a real neurological difference that makes everything harder. Society often treats it as a minor inconvenience or discipline problem. What this book covers. Barkley is one of the leading researchers on ADHD, and it shows. The book covers neurological basis of ADHD in accessible language, what executive function actually is, and why it can impair ADHD kids. Medication, including an honest, evidence-based discussion that cuts through a lot of the fear and misinformation related to medication. And parenting strategies that can be adapted to actually help kids with ADHD and how their brain works, rather than borrowing from the general parenting advice that usually never works. And school accommodations and advocacy. It's comprehensive without being overwhelming. I did listen to this as an audiobook. And while it's not a personal experience, he uses a lot of case studies to show the different profiles of individuals with ADHD, which can be quite helpful. You may feel yourself identified in it, or you can relate to the parents that are dealing with a certain profile for their child. So my honest take, it's a clinical book. It reads like one, but it's not hard to understand. It has a lot of valuable information, and it's validating for parents. If you want a more emotional, lived experience book, this is not it, but it does give a lot of examples of different case studies of different profiles, which can be very valuable. It's thorough, it's grounded in research, and it gives you language that's easy to understand so that you can understand what's going on with your child. I do want to mention one part in the book that made me a little uncomfortable. There was a case study that was involving parents disagreeing on how to handle a difficult child, and one of the parents used spanking as their behavior management approach. It didn't really give an opinion either way on whether that was acceptable or not, but I do want you to know that it's in there. The validation that I felt reading the book was not something that I expected. Not because it was telling me everything I was doing right, but it confirmed to me that this can be difficult, that parenting is difficult, and that what I'm dealing with is real and other people are dealing with it too, and I'm not alone. And it's hard because of legitimate neurological reasons, and it talks about systems on how to be an authoritative parent. And the approaches for teaching how to be an authoritative parent are more explicit and step-by-step than a lot of parenting books that I've seen. So who might not love it? If you're looking for a warm and fuzzy story, this is just not the book. It's long and it's dense and it will take a while to read. But for parents that really want to understand ADHD and what parenting looks like for children with ADHD, this is a good starting point. Or for veterans that just feel like they're struggling all the time, this could provide some valuable insight to help figure out what will work for your family. So I highly recommend Taking Charge of ADHD by Russell Barkley for any parent that has a child with ADHD with a new diagnosis or that's a veteran parent. Link is in the description. And I'm Mary Ellen Yates, and this is Growing Together, Neurodiversity at Home.